Hi, I'm Kat Joseph with The Paisano. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor visited UTSA. Students shared their thoughts on her surprising visit and inspiring speech. A few of the students I spoke with got to meet her and ask questions during the event. What was the most memorable part of the speech for you?
So the most memorable part for me was the part where she said that I hope that you make a decision today that will make a difference in your life and as well as the community around you, because that's what civics is all about. And that's really, what really hit me hard, and being able to do something nice for somebody, because we live in a really turbulent time, and we go to our different enclaves, and we don't like to hear the other side. And I think it's really important that we hear and listen to what's out there, because we might learn something new, and it may even influence us to make different decisions in how we walk around the world, how we treat different people.
I can't really pick a favorite part. She is such a wonderful speaker. She's so charismatic and personable. It felt like we were just having a normal, conversation. And for her to be in such an esteemed position, that was, really surprising to me. She is super down to earth. So I enjoyed her answers to every question. I could tell she was definitely being completely transparent and genuine, and I really appreciated that.
She spoke about the fact that somebody can be smarter than you. You're the only one that can make sure that there's nobody else that works harder than you. That really struck me as something to live your life by, and something that, I still have 4 years here. I'm a freshman, so I think living by that for the rest of my time here at UTSA and in my life will really take me to great places. And obviously it's taken her to some really amazing places in her career and her lifetime.
The most memorable part was when the justice told us to basically just enjoy college. We always talk about here at UTSA how there's so many opportunities and so many facilities available for us, and to hear that from a Supreme Court justice just meant it on another level, and it now makes me want to take advantage of the Career Center and the Tutoring Center more, because she seemed to really value those experiences.
What is the most inspiring part of her story to you?
The most inspiring part of her story was when she talked about alcoholism. Now, granted, I haven't really been affected by it, but I think it was really important for her to speak volumes to something like that, because I know there's a lot of people that are impacted by alcoholism. I don't quote me on this on the specific language that she said, but I know that she mentioned that sometimes just because they may act out, that doesn't mean that they don't love you. But they do, but maybe they don't love themselves. Maybe they're just in a situation where they can't really control themselves. But I think it's important for you to be there with them and guide them through that process. So hopefully they'll be able to move beyond it. So.
It's definitely from how far she's come. She's how the household that she grew up in and the difficulty she's dealt with, the fact that she has diabetes and things like that, being a woman of color growing up in the time that she did, that's just super inspirational in itself.
I think the fact that she came from such hard conditions, from living in the Bronx with no father, having a health condition, and just having a mom who works so hard to get her daughter to succeed as well is just so admirable to me. It's the fact that she grew through adversity. She worked so hard to go to Ivy League schools, and that's something that such a small percentage of the world can come from those circumstances and build themselves up to be in her place, in her position of honor.
She talked about how she struggled with her family and how her father was an alcoholic, and to being able to overcome those obstacles is a really big deal, and it's just awesome to see somebody attain so much, after overcoming those obstacles.
She talked about her college experience and taking courses that would help her become more well-rounded and not just focusing on her major. How do you feel about that?
That's actually one of the questions I really enjoyed too. I really connected to that, how she was saying that she didn't know what she was looking at when she went to museums. So she took an art history class and things like that. I think it's very important to step out of your comfort zone and to do extracurriculars that aren't just in that scope. You know, it's not very good to have tunnel vision. You want to explore your options, explore all the opportunities and courses that you can. So I really think that's awesome that she did that.
Like taking different classes, like not limiting yourself just to your major. Like I'm an engineering major, so maybe I would want to take a liberal arts class just to experience, have that experience and get a new perspective on the world.
How do you feel about the Supreme Justice coming to UTSA?
So I think it's really important for the Supreme Court Justice to come to UTSA because she's also first gen. It paints a picture in the minds of the students here at UTSA that something like that is possible. Now we know Supreme Court justices might be really, really hard to get, and she even said that you probably have a better chance of getting struck by lightning. But still, it's still awesome to actually see someone, a Latina woman, in a position of authority and an opportunity to actually make change and lasting opinions that will influence American history.
This was a huge opportunity, especially with UTSA being such a growing campus. We're on our way to Tier 1. So the fact that she took the time to come to San Antonio and specifically to our school, it definitely speaks volumes about her character and about her as a person. So I just think this was a huge and amazing opportunity for our campus.
I think it's awesome. Like, I was honestly really surprised in a really good way because I don't know. It means a lot for our institution. It means recognition. It's like she's giving us a pep talk. It's nice to see that we're being recognized at that level.
What question did you ask the Supreme Justice?
So I asked a question about how does she approach every day living with diabetes and how does she maintain and control the condition.
How did you choose your question?
So I actually suffer from prediabetes, so it's kind of, having a connection to that condition is kind of what led me to ask that question.
Well, it started off with a statement. I just said, I was like, you've been one of 3 women that have been appointed to the Supreme Court, and I asked her how she feels that gender influences the law. So that was my question for her. She went on to respond. She went deeper, bringing up a personal case that she herself did not work on, but she was there to witness and go through all that happened during that case. It was about like a 13-year-old that had been strip searched for having an aspirin after hearsay, and she just brought up how she's like, people need to understand just how that affects them and how it does play a role. She didn't specifically say that it does play a role, but her undertone was just basically there is an understanding when it comes to situation by situation, and I just thought the way she approached it was so empathetic.
How did you feel prior to asking her the question, standing up and knowing that you were going to speak directly to the Supreme Justice?
Well, I've been in situations before about asking questions. I've stood before large crowds pretty much my whole life. I was always typically the kid who got casted to go up and give the presentation, and I somehow would always find myself even in class presentations doing that today. So getting up in front of crowds was never really too hard of a thing, and I also got a chance to meet with her prior, so that kind of brought down the nerves. It kind of eases me, so it wasn't that bad.
Why did you get this opportunity?
I believe I got this opportunity because, one, I serve as a student body president of UTSA, but also because I've thought about even becoming a lawyer, and really that it really would speak volumes to me to actually hear that coming from someone like her who has a minority background. So that's really what it kind of came down to. Also being a student leader. Being a student leader on campus, I'm president of an organization called Women of Honor. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I'm the student affairs chair in the Student Government Association. So I think it was just kind of based on our leadership and contributions to the university, and if we had some type of connection as well. So to the Supreme Court Justice.
I was approached because of my interests. I'm very into the whole politics. Well, politics and law is my major to start off with. That's my key interest. It's been something I've been involved with in my life with my family. Growing up, it was always something that I took an interest in and was involved with. So Barry knew about that, and he approached me, and he was just like, hey, would you like this opportunity? And I did not skip a beat. I was just like, yes, of course, I'd love to. And honestly, it's one of the greatest things that I can say, like, oh my God, I met a Supreme Court justice. I got to shake her hand. Like, that just blows my mind. I think I probably got my mom to cry over it because she was even more excited for me. So that's pretty much how it came about, and I'm just really, really grateful for it. I couldn't have asked for a better opportunity to start off this semester.
Thanks for watching. Click our logo to subscribe, or click one of the videos for more from the Paisano. Leave a comment letting us know your thoughts and what you'd like to see us cover next.